She found a dark secret in the CEO's email. What happens next is wild. A young woman was looking through her newly deceased grandfather's things when she came across an old leather-bound journal. It was filled with all sorts of interesting stories about her grandfather's past. At the end of the book, she found a sheet of paper with an email address written on it. The subject line simply said, Project 69. Curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to send an email to that address. She never expected to get a reply, but she was shocked when she did. The reply was from a man who introduced himself as the CEO of her grandfather's former company. He told her that he was very busy, but that he would answer any questions she might have about her grandfather. Her grandfather had been a scientist who worked on developing self-destruct helmets for the military. That was all she knew. So she asked the CEO if he could tell her more about her grandfather's work. In his reply, the CEO told her that her grandfather had actually been working on something much more sinister. Her grandfather was one of the leading developers behind Project 69, a top-secret project that created robotic killing machines. These robots were designed to look like ordinary people so they wouldn't be detected. They would then infiltrate enemy organizations and carry out assassinations. The CEO told her that her grandfather had been the one who made the final prototype, but that he had disappeared soon after, and no one knew what had happened to him. She thanked the CEO for telling her all this and said that she would keep it a secret. But the CEO replied that it was already too late. Someone else had found out about the project and was trying to find the remaining prototypes. He begged her to send him the journal so that he could hide the information in it. She thought about it for a moment and then agreed. The moment she hit send, she regretted it. She had just sent the journal containing all of her grandfather's secrets to a total stranger. She tried calling him to tell him that he shouldn't open it, but the call went straight to voicemail. She tried again and again, but he didn't answer. She was just about to send him another message when her phone was hacked and she saw the crazed look on the face of the CEO as he opened her grandfather's journal. Suddenly, he was at her front door asking for the journal back. He told her that he needed to destroy it because there were people after them both. She knew that she couldn't trust him, so she refused. He pleaded with her, but she held her ground. Finally, he snapped and lunged for her, knocking her to the floor. She screamed as he started to strangle her. Just when she thought it was over, a familiar face appeared and punched the CEO in the gut. It was the police officer who had been investigating her grandfather's death. He had been watching the house for the past few days, waiting for someone to come and collect the package. He had seen the CEO arrive and had followed her into the house. He helped her up, and they struggled to get the CEO to leave. But when he heard that the police were involved, he stopped resisting and let them take him away. The police officer told her that he had been watching over her grandfather's grave for the past few days. Someone had been digging it up, but he had scared them off. They arrived back at her grandfather's house to find that it had also been ransacked. It looked like the people who had dug up the grave were looking for something. As they searched the house, they found a hidden compartment in her grandfather's study. Inside, they found a micro SD card. When they put it in a computer, they found that it contained all of the data from her grandfather's research. It seemed that he had hidden it there in case Project 69 ever became public knowledge. The police officer contacted the department that had originally classified her grandfather's project and told them what he had found. They arranged for a secure location to store the data, and the police officer promised to protect her while they figured out what to do next. As the sun began to set, she realized that she was not only in danger, but so was the police officer. The CEO had told her that there were people after the project and it seemed like they would stop at nothing to get what they wanted. She had to find a way to warn the police officer without tipping off the others. She led the police officer outside and told him that she needed to show him something. She pointed to the sky and yelled, "Look!" just as a drone flew overhead. The police officer looked up just as she had hoped. In that moment of distraction, she pulled out a gun and shot him in the shoulder. Now it was time to run.